Let's see how many subgenres of heavy metal you can name.
Okay, there's power metal,
glam metal,
hair metal,
thrash metal,
ambient thrash,
progressive metal,
stoner metal,
hardcore,
grindcore,
deathcore,
death metal,
melodic death metal,
goth metal,
dark metal,
doom metal,
satanic metal,
funk metal,
rap metal,
symphonic metal,
melodic metal,
laptop metal,
cinematic metal,
new metal,
folk metal,
old metal,
shred guitar metal.
La década de los 90 tuvo un gran aumento de música heavy metal. Con tantos subgéneros existiendo al mismo tiempo, no había nada fuera de los límites de la música. En 1991, los héroes del metal, Anthrax, tomaron la iniciativa y llevaron al metal a territorio nuevo.
Public Enemy was my favorite rap group. They didn't sound like anybody else at that time in rap music. I started wearing a Public Enemy t-shirt live all the time. I was like, yeah, man, you know, people have to know about this.
We were sharing the same management company. And I saw Scotty in with a Public Enemy shirt. I was like, this is real cool. He just wearing one of our shirts, and we're a brand new group. So when I made Bring the Noise, I included Anthrax. It was like, whoa, you know, Chuck named us in Bring the Noise, and that built a relationship.
I always just wanted to work with those guys. And we had already done I'm the Man, the rap song that Anthrax wrote. Okay, now we can work with Public Enemy, but how? It was in '90, we were recording Persistence of Time. I said, hey, I've got this arrangement idea in my head to cover Bring the Noise. I called Chuck and I told him what we did, and his initial reaction was kind of, eh.
My thing was like, I felt a little strange actually doing my song over again.
But we sent him the tape, and about 2 days later I heard back from him and he said, this is slamming, when can we come in and do the vocals?
How low can you go? Death row? What a brother, no, once again, back is the incredible rhyme animal, the uncannibal D.
We were definitely extreme examples, and that's what made our marriage fit. We were abrasive, Anthrax was abrasive, and, you know, we took it to the edge, throttled it to the edge.
It was straight from your heart. It was straight in your face, and that's where we were at. There wasn't a better time for us, because we knew we were breaking barriers.
Hear the drummer get wicked!
Anthrax were the first to try rap metal, got slated for it. Everybody else was doing it 3 or 4 years later, and people were raving about it. Poor old Anthrax, first in there, people laughed at them.
People just didn't get it. It was so before its time, that track. Our own labels didn't want to have anything to do with us. They didn't understand. Fine, go yourself. We'll put it out on our own. Of course, they put it out, you know, because someone said, you know what, this is probably going to sell a few copies. We're going to make money on it.
It took off. It totally took off. That whole Public Enemy Anthrax thing was amazing.
I think it was a healthy influx of new influences. You know, rap has the anger in it, and it was a nice meld. I think it was great.
I do believe it is the moment that opened the door for that genre.
Ese género que combinaba metal hardcore con ritmos electrónicos y hip hop obtuvo el nombre de nuevo metal gracias a la innovación de Public Enemy y Anthrax. Bandas como Korn, Limp Bizkit y Linkin Park mostraron un nuevo sonido y una nueva imagen y acercaron a la generación X al metal.
The early 90s was a strong time for rock. You know, it jump-started young guys like me. I was so inspired by everything that was going on.
New metal was starting to happen. The underground could relate to it because it was very much away from the mainstream.
Everything about it was different. We stood still and headbanged. You know, they jumped up and down and pogoed and did that whole thing.
The tattoos have replaced long hair, detuned guitars have replaced guitar solos, and Cookie Monster vocals have replaced melody and harmony.
I remember Limp Bizkit opening up for us one time, and I just went, this is going to be the next big thing, man. This is going to blow up. I don't know what it is, but somebody likes it, because I just saw what it did to the crowd out there. There were certain types of way I express myself that maybe people would interpret as hip-hop, but I felt completely metal.
Let me see them hands, pick them up in the air.
These are the guys that grew up listening to the thrash and speed metal stuff. And our records are what influenced them to play guitar, just like the Kiss records influenced me to pick up the instrument. So, again, it's sort of this figuratively handing the baton off to the younger audience.
Lejos de las influencias del metal de la vieja escuela, la nueva popularidad del nuevo metal ocasionó que algunas clásicas resurgieran.
All the older bands who had been decried suddenly found themselves back in fashion, back in vogue. They were picking up young audiences. Suddenly kids starting bands found it acceptable to say, well, we love Judas Priest, we love Iron Maiden. Sabbath, who had been a sad old hat for so long, suddenly got back with Ozzy, and everyone said, wow, Sabbath are back, this is great.
Black Sabbath has some great musicianship, yet they were not considered legit. And I remember calling up people I went to high school with and say, see, Sabbath, baby, they're influencing everybody. Finally, they were being acknowledged for the contributions they gave.
Los 90 fueron años buenos para Ozzy Osbourne. Además de reunirse con Sabbath, logró uno de sus mayores éxitos. En 1996, él y su esposa fundaron el Ozzfest, el festival clásico de las bandas de metal, donde han iniciado sus carreras bandas como Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot y System of a Down.
I believe the importance of Ozzfest cannot be underestimated. One, it put Ozzy back on the map and made him the most important figure of metal. Two, it gave huge numbers of young bands the opportunity to go on tour and play to big audiences.
You had so many different types of groups kind of coming together, so it was like the traveling circus in a way.
It's the biggest tour every summer. Ozzfest is bringing metal to the masses and making metal cool once again for all ages.
I want to see a real heavy metal crowd go crazy!
Heavy, la historia del metal.
I've always asserted myself as a villain because the villain in any walk of life is the person who refuses to follow blindly.
La historia del metal.